A students work for B students. B students work for C students. And C students, we're the ones running the companies. Dude, you live with your parents and you also have no money. What are you talking about? Look, I make my money trading stocks. But hey, you can enjoy your little 9 to 5 if that's what you want to do. A students do not end up working for C students. Anyone saying this is either lying, coping super hard, or just trying to scam you with some sort of course or something like that. Usually I would say it's a mixture of multiple of those. So I keep seeing these videos online of these entrepreneurs saying A students work for B students, C students run companies and this and that. And I see their point. You know, they're trying to make it sound like if you didn't do the best in school, you can still be successful. But realistically, they're just trying to appeal to lazy people and they are lying. There's a pretty big difference in saying like, oh, grades aren't everything, don't hold all your weight in grades, then C students are the ones running the companies. You know, it's pretty obvious who they're trying to appeal to here and what they're doing. There's actual studies on GPA correlation versus salary, and I'm gonna be going over some stuff today to basically disprove this stupid claim. All right, so first up, we're gonna be watching this clip of this guy named Dan Martell, and let's just see what he has to say.
Statistically, the richest people in the world were not A students. They weren't B students. Most of them were C students. The reason why they're C students is because they never bought into the vision of the way the world was. That's why entrepreneurs create a better world that everybody else gets to live in.
Statistically, the richest people were C students. So let's look at the actual statistics of this claim and see what he's talking about here. So they actually studied this in China, and what they found was that for every 1 point your GPA went up, your starting salary increased around 30%, and then around 25% 3 to 5 years after getting out of school. They also studied this at the University of Miami, and what they found was that, again, for every 1 point your GPA goes up, your salary went up by around 13%. All right, so the important thing about this video of Dan Martell is Dan Martell sells some sort of coaching course on his TikTok. And realistically, if he's trying to sell and appeal to people, he's gonna need to appeal to people that are feeling a little more behind and not the people that are successful, making a lot of money out of college that have just been grinding, I guess, since high school ended. And that's why he's making this video. An A student making a bunch of money isn't gonna see some course on how to get rich quick and think they need to buy it. But a C student who's really scraping by or doesn't even have a job at all and has no skills yet, they're probably gonna see this and be more likely to actually buy his course because they're the ones who would need to catch up faster. Here we got another guy claiming the same thing. Let's just get into the video real quick and see what's up.
The best students, the valedictorians, the straight A students are not normally the ones that make the cheddar, right? They normally end up working for the C students. Now, why is that? It's because the C student is not afraid to fail. They're not chasing perfection. They are just out there breaking things, moving fast and growing. So they're willing to take a risk.
All right, so I guess his theory here is that the reason C students are more successful, even though he made that up, is because they are not chasing perfection and they're just moving faster. So yes, I guess that is true that in a way they are not chasing perfection, but realistically in high school, in almost every class, and also same, especially the first half of college, you can make A's in the back of the class showing up high every single day and not do a lot of work. So in reality, C students are not running the companies. A C is the bare minimum to just get through without failing your classes and having to repeat them. The C students were notoriously the bare minimum doers, not really putting in the effort they should have been putting in, and that's why they got C students. And I would say that reflected in many other areas of life. The thing is, all of these good and bad habits compound over your life, and trust me, I was someone who sucked in high school, so I had to kind of have the consequences of having terrible habits once I got to college. But think about it. If you're making C's in high school and then you don't go to college and you compare someone over time to someone who's been making A's and grinding since middle school and continues doing that, there's gonna be a huge salary difference between the two. Even assuming you go to college, the difference between the top students with just an undergrad degree and the bottom students with an undergrad degree is not being able to find a job and making almost $200,000 a year, either in some sort of computer science job or investment banking or something like that. So if you are one of these students making C's either in high school or college, you're kind of already behind, I'm not gonna lie. And these people telling you this are appealing to you because they sell courses. This guy I just watched there's a link to a coaching program in his bio. And like I said earlier, he's doing it for people that feel like they need to catch up, because a C student is most likely to be significantly farther behind than an A student.
The A students work for the companies, the B students run the companies, the C students own the companies. It's because the C students don't really like to follow rules. They're smart enough to know the value of their time, so they don't want to get D's or F's. The people that get A's and B's are so stuck with trying to fulfill what society wants them to, that they're not focused on the real goal is being happy. Government will lend you money to go to college so you can make more money and pay more taxes. It's the dumbest thing ever, man. You're gonna make $10,000, $20,000 more than the other guy. You're gonna be paying taxes on that for the rest of your life. And if you learn how to be an entrepreneur, you get write-offs. You wanna go buy a Bentley, you can just write it off. Section 179 of the US tax code, now you gotta use it for business purposes, but you write it off. If you work for a corporate company, you're not gonna buy a Bentley because you probably can't afford one.
Okay, so this guy has two main arguments. It's that C students are C students because they value their time more than A students, and also that if you start a business, you can just write stuff off and not pay taxes. Like I said earlier, anyone who's ever been in high school and seen everyone kind of grow up throughout it, the C students aren't C students because they value their time more. If anything, they value their time less than other students. You can't say a C student values their time if the reason most C students are C students is because they're just going home, doom scrolling on TikTok or playing a bunch of video games or something. It's not like they're at home building some empire like Walter White, and that's why they're not able to focus in school. I mean, like I said earlier, you can make A's in school with your eyes closed, literally. I mean, in high school, I slept through my first 4 classes every single day, and it was completely fine because high school is just, they just pass you no matter what. And then his point about the tax write-offs and stuff, I already made a video about my opinions on people who talk about this stuff. You can't just write everything off. It's the dumbest thing ever. So similar to the other people in this video, this guy was also selling a course. Obviously, I've actually met such a wide range of people and gotten to meet them pretty well. And I'll tell you that the only people that I've ever met that have even considered doing something like either buying a course or trying to get rich off sports betting or something along those lines, or day trading or trying to trade crypto, stuff like that, are the people that are usually on the more broke side. I'm not saying I don't know more successful people that haven't gambled a little bit or things like that. I mean, everybody's done bad things. But I'm saying the only people I know that have actually considered stuff like this as their primary source of income are the people with the least amount of money. So it's very obvious why they're trying to appeal to people that are C students and trying to, I guess, crap on the A students. Look, if you're a C student or just in general a bad student, you just wasted your time, and that's okay. I've been there, everyone's made mistakes and done that. But watching these videos is just coping extremely hard, and you should probably not be doing that. Yeah, I just wanted to make this video to talk about how this is not a real thing, and anytime you see something that's a little too good to be true, like C students are somehow more successful than the people that have a history of working hard their whole life, that maybe it is too good to be true, and maybe they're scamming you with a course. Look, honestly, if you're a C student in high school, the chances are you're gonna be cooked for the rest of your life. I'm sorry to say it that way. I know this is super pessimistic, but your whole life is basically just a makeup of all the decisions that you've done in your past. So if you have 18 years of laziness behind your back, why would anyone expect you to be all of a sudden magically successful when you're older? But yeah, if you were gonna fall for one of these scam courses or one of these influencer people, I hope that you saw my video and now don't fall for it. That's a lot about what this channel is about. It's calling out scammers. You could think of me like the kid from the movie Sixth Sense who sees dead people.
I see dead people.
But instead of seeing dead people, I can see when TikTokers are just trying to scam lazy people. But yeah, anyways, I hope y'all liked that video. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe to my channel. I'm past 20 subscribers, which is pretty exciting, not gonna lie. So, help me get to 30, that'd be pretty sick. But yeah, I will see y'all in the next video. Instead of hating, maybe you should actually try to learn how to become as successful as me. If you want to, then maybe you should check out my course in my bio. Yep, that's exactly what I thought you were gonna say.